Growing up, I think the only new clothes I ever had was my first communion outfit. Other than that, everything, even my baptismal gown, was a hand-me-down from my older brother. Even my brand new first communion suit became a hand-me-down. It was sent to a relative in Poland for his first Holy Communion. If they were waiting on me to get new clothes, it's no wonder that Richmond Brothers went out of business. Now, I would bet that most of you spent your childhood in hand-me-downs as well, playing with hand-me-down toys. And there is a point, though, that these hand-me-downs become ours instead of being identified with whoever wore them before or whoever played them with them before. They stopped being thought of as hand-me-downs and started becoming something that we actually owned. Probably at about that point, it was time to hand them down to a younger brother or sister or a cousin or neighbor. Clothes and toys are not the only things handed down. Our language, our identity, our history, and even our faith were handed down to us by our parents and grandparents who believed before us. Just think about it for a minute. Do you remember being taught the Our Father or the Hail Mary? They weren't taught to us. They were handed down as a precious gift that we accepted as comfortably as a broken-in set of clothes, a doll who had been loved by someone before us. In today's second reading, Paul talks about that kind of handing down. He handed down to his converts what he received from the Lord and asked them to hand it down to future generations. That handing down continued all the way to our parents, our families, who handed it down to us. Now it is our faith, our belief. It's time for us to hand it down to the next generation. Now, just in case you think you're not up to it, it should be left to someone better qualified or better trained. Look at the people God chose in the readings today. Isaiah, the great prophet, a man of unclean lips, who needed his wickedness removed, his sin purged. Paul, the persecutor of the church. And Peter, by his own admission, a sinful, sinful man. The call to hand down the faith is entrusted to weak, limited, sinful people, people like you and me, the only kind of people there are. Now, God love you, and let's come before the Lord to profess our faith.